All right, good afternoon and welcome to Master Talker online class. Today we'll be talking about angle of elevation and depression. It's very simple. The only thing you need to know is that before you talk about angle of elevation, elevation means you are looking up. Okay, if I'm like this now and I'm looking up here, it means I'm talking about angle of elevation. But before I will look up, I have to have my normal eye level. I have my normal eye level before I look up. Okay, so the two angle between where I am looking and my normal eye level is the angle of elevation. Then if I'm looking down, it is called angle of depression. But before I look down, I have my eye level before I look down. So the angle between my eye level and the down I'm looking at is the angle of depression. So for elevation, this is my eye here. I have my eye level here. Okay, then before I will now look up. Okay, so the angle between where I'm looking at and my eye level is called the angle of elevation. Okay, then for depression, watch again. I have my eye level here. This is my eyes. So and then I now look down. So the angle between my eye level and where I am looking at is now the angle of depression. As simple as that. So let's solve these two questions so that we understand what we are talking about. Okay, the question said that a man at a point 18 meters away from the foot of a tree observe a bird on top of the tree at an angle of elevation. You have heard that this man is here. Look at this man standing here. Look at his head. This is the man standing here. Okay, and the man is standing on the same horizontal ground with a tree. This is the tree. Okay, then this is the eye of this man. This is his eyes. Then this is his eye level. This is the eye level of the man. Before you now get that this man is now looking here. Are you getting it now? So it said that a man is 18 meters away. So from here to here is 18. So the same thing here, 18 meters as well. Okay, so they said that and the angle of elevation is 30 degrees. Are you getting it now? So they now said find the height of the tree. Okay, the mistake of this question is that they're supposed to tell us the height of this man. Okay, find the height of the tree if the man is 20 meters high. Okay, so which means this man is 20 meters and this man is 20 meters, unless maybe the man is lying on the floor. Okay, if the man does not have any height, that means the man is lying on the floor. So let's assume the man is lying on the floor. So let's forget about this. Okay, so the man is lying on the floor. If this man is lying on the floor, okay, so this is the man lying on the floor. So this is the distance from the man, the foot of the tree. Okay, this is the tree. Okay, so and the angle the man made is 30 degrees. So and this is 18 meters from the man to the foot of the tree. So they now say that we should calculate the height of the tree. This is where we are calculating h. Okay, but you are going. This is 90 degrees. Okay, the tree to the ground is 90 degrees. So this is what? A right angle triangle. And in solving a right angle triangle, you are going to use what? Either Pythagoras theorem or SOHCAHTOA. But I cannot use SOHCAHTOA because two sides are not given. So I can use Pythagoras. I cannot use Pythagoras theorem, sorry, because two sides are not given. Okay, I can use SOHCAHTOA. You use SOHCAHTOA when a side and an angle is given. So they gave me the opposite. They asked me the opposite and they gave me the adjacent. So I'll use tan. So tan 30 is equal to 2. So ka 2. So opposite over adjacent, opposite h over adjacent 18. So therefore h is equal to what? 18 times what? Tan 30. So what do we have? H is equal to what? 18 times tan 30 is root 3 over 3. So 3 divided by this is what? 6 root 3 meters. So the height of this tree is 6 root 3. As simple as that. Okay. So the next thing we are going to look at is number 2. Let's look at number 2. Let's look at number 2. Number 2 said the angle of depression from the top of a building. So I have, this is the building. Let me say this is the building. So from the top of this building, okay, the angle of height 30 meters. This building is 30 meters. Okay, and the angle of depression of a stationary car. The car is somewhere on the ground here. The car is somewhere here and on the same level with the foot of this thing. So the angle of depression is what? Is 45 degrees. So the person that is looking down is on top of this tree. So but before then, this person has his own eye level before he decides to look down to see this car. Okay, so look at the angle of depression is with the eye level and where he's looking, which is what? 45. So alternative angle forms Z. Alternative angle is an angle that forms Z like this. Okay, which shows that here is equal to here, or this kind of Z, which shows that here is equal to here. Sometimes they form N, which shows that here is equal to here, or the other type of N, here is equal to here. So which means if here is 45, automatically here is what? 45 degrees. So they say we should find what? Find the distance between the car and the top of the building. So this is the car and the top of the building. So the distance they are asking us, let me call it the distance D that they are asking us. So I cannot use Pythagoras because they did not give me two sides, but I can use SOHCAHTOA. So they gave me opposite and they're asking me hypotenuse, so I can use sine. I'll tell them that sine 45 is equal to opposite 30 over what? Hypotenuse D. So what do you have now? So you now have that D times what? Sine 30 is equal to what? 30. So D times sine 30 is what? 1 over root 3. 1 over root 2, which is root 2 over 2, is equal to what? 30. Cross multiply to have that D is equal to what? 30 root 2 meters. So as simple as that. Okay. So let's solve more questions on that so that you understand it very well. Okay. Look at number 3 question. Said from points A and B 43 meters apart. Okay. On the and on the same horizontal line, and on the same horizontal line with the foot C of an electric pole. Then I said the angle of elevation of the top of the pole are 24 and 37 degrees respectively. Then I say find the height of the pole. Okay, so this is the question and it's a very simple question. So let's look at that. Okay, look at this simple question. They say from 2 points A and B. I have 2 points. These are the 2 points I have, A and B. And the 2 points they say that is what? 43 meters apart. Okay, these 2 points are 43 meters apart and on the same horizontal line with the foot C of an electric pole. Now watch you. I don't know if this pole is on the left hand side or on the right hand side, But how will you know if it's on the left hand side or on the right hand side of these 2 points? Is from the angle of elevation they gave you. They say that the angle of elevation of A, because they say respectively, so A goes to 24 and B goes to 36. The closer you go to something, the higher the angle of elevation. Let me show you. The way I'm like this, if I want to look up, I'm looking at this and I will look like this. But if I'm going closer, I will even raise my head up. So the angle I'm going to fall, it will be too much. So the one that is closer to that tree, okay, will make a higher angle. So the tree should be somewhere here. This is the tree now. This is the tree. Okay, so that the angle of elevation from this place this is the point B, is the bigger one, which is what? 37. And the small one to the same top of the tree is what? 24. Okay, and this is my 90 degrees. You see, to draw this thing is very, very simple. Then I say find the height of this building, the height of the tree. So let me call the height of the tree H. Okay, now to find H, we have 2 triangles, and you have to bring out those 2 triangles so that you will know what you are doing. The first triangle, let me call this top of the tree, and this is B, this is D. Let me call this, okay, they call it C, the foot of the tree, C. Okay, so the first triangle you have is closing this place, which is the bigger triangle. So the bigger triangle is like this, which is what? C is here, A is here, and the T is here. Here is your H. Okay, and from A to C, let me call this place X. So it will be what? 43 plus X. I hope you know. From here to here should be what? 43 plus X. And the second triangle I have is this one. The second triangle I have is this one. So here is C, here is B, here is X, and here is H. Okay, and I have that here is what? 37. And here is 24. Okay, now let us find H. To find H, this is opposite over adjacent. So I'm using tan. So tan 24 is equal to opposite H over what? Adjacent, which is 43 plus X. Okay, so which means that H is equal to what? 43 plus X times tan 24. Okay, so from the same side again, let us find in fact, let me write it here. From this one, tan 24 is equal to opposite H over what? 43 plus X. So therefore, my H is what? 43 plus X, all bracket what? Tan 24. Okay, so let's do the same thing here. To do the same thing here, I'm going to have what? Tan 37 is equal to what? H over X. So finding H again is what? X tan 37. So the heights are all equal. They are of the same height. So let me equate the 2H. If I equate the 2H, I'm going to have 43 plus X bracket tan 24 is equal to what? X tan 37. So what am I going to have? Let me get what tan 24 is. Tan 24. So I'm going to have 43 plus X, all bracket tan 24 tan 24. Okay, I'm having 0.4452 is equal to tan 37 0.7536x. Okay, so let me clear bracket here. This times this, what do I have? I have 0.4452 times 43. So I'm having 19.1436 plus 0.4452x is equal to 0.7536x. So if I collect items, I'm going to have 19.1436 is equal to what? 0.7536x minus 0.4452x. So therefore I'm having let me finish it up here. 19.1436 is equal to, subtract 0.7536 minus 0.4452. So I'm having 0.3084x. So therefore my x is now what? 19.1436 divided by 0.3084. So my x is equal to, so 19.1436 divided by 0.3084. So I'm having that 62.0739. Okay, so that is my x, but I'm not looking for x. What I'm looking for is h. So I can just substitute in any of the equation I like. So but let me use this one. I know that my h is equal to what? X tan 37. So my h is equal to what? 62.0739 times tan 37 gave us 0.7536. So my h is equal to times 0.7536. So my h is now what? 46.7789, okay, meters. So that is that. Very, very simple. So let me solve one more question. Okay, number 3 question said, the feet of 2 vertical poles of height 3 meters and 7 meters are in line with a point P. On the ground. The smaller pole being in between the taller pole, and point P, and at a distance of 20 meters from P. Then I said the angle of elevation of the top T of the taller pole from the top R of the smaller pole is 30 degrees. Okay, then I say find I, distance RT, I, distance of the foot, of the taller pole from P. I, angle of elevation of T from P. Okay, so let us do that. It's a very simple question. So let's draw it here. Now I have they say the feet of two vertical poles, 3 meter and 7 meter long. So this is let me say that this one is 7 meter and this one is 3 meter, and they are all in the same horizontal ground, okay, are in line with a point P, but I don't know that on the same ground. But I don't know if the point is the left hand side or the right hand side. But they told us that the smaller pole being in between the point P, so that point P should be somewhere here. So that this is point P. So that this smaller pole will be in between P and the taller pole. Okay. So in between the and point P. Okay. And they say that at a distance of 20 meters from P. Okay, so they say that this smaller pole is in between these two and is at a distance of 20 meters from P, from this P. Okay, then I said the angle of elevation of the top T of the smaller pole from the top R, the taller pole from the top R of the smaller pole. So this is the taller pole. Let me have that. This one is taller like this. And the angle of elevation from here, the smaller pole, this is the eye level of the smaller pole before he looks up. So the angle of elevation he made is what? He made is 30 degrees. Then I say they say that we should find the angle of elevation of the top T. Remember that this is top R and this is top T. So which means this person equally looked up. So and formed an angle of elevation that we don't know. So this is the perfect drawing for that. Okay, so which means if the total here, so here should be 4 meters, here should be 3 meters, because here and here are equal. So the total will give you the height of this build, the height of this taller pole, which is 7 meters. Okay, so if we have this now, let's bring out the two triangles we have. The first triangle we have is the small triangle. This small triangle that here is R. Let me call this place M and call this place N and call this place Q. Okay, so the small triangle is M and the T. Here is 4 meters and here is what? 30 degrees. We want to find this small place. We want to find here, because here should be equal to here, because this has already formed a rectangle. So to find here, let me call this place X. It's going to be opposite and adjacent. So cos. So cos 30 is equal to opposite 4 over adjacent x. So what are we having? Cos 30 is root 3 over 2. Okay, so I'm having what? Root 3 over 2 is equal to what? 4 over x. So cross multiply to have x root 3 over 2. Sorry, x root 3 is equal to what? 2 times this, 8. So therefore x is equal to what? 8 over root 3 times root 3 over root 3, which is what? 8 root 3 over 3. Okay, so but okay, let me put the answer in decimal. Let me put the answer in decimal. So I'm going to have that what? That x is equal to what? 4 divided by cos 30. So x is equal to what? Okay, 4 divided by cos 30. So I'm having 4.6188. Okay, so if here is 4 points, let me say 4.6. 4.6 here is going to be 4.6. Okay, so what are they asking us? They say the distance RT. Where is RT? Okay, the distance RT. So to find the distance RT, we are still going to use the same triangle. So we are going to say opposite over hypotenuse. So we say sine 30 is equal to opposite 4 over what? RT. So therefore sine 30 is 1 over 2. So 1 over 2 is equal to 4 over RT. So if I cross multiply, I'll have that what? RT is equal to what? 2 times 4, which is equal to what? 8. So we have gotten that RT is what? 8 meters. So the next thing they say we should find is the distance of the foot of the taller pole from P. So the distance from the foot of the taller pole from P, oh, we have gotten it. So which is what? 20 plus this. So the II should be what? The distance should be what? PQ plus what? So the distance is equal to PN. That is the distance, which is what? PQ plus QN, which is what? 20 plus 4.6, which is what? 24.6 meters. Okay, so the last thing they say we should find is the angle of elevation, which is this theta. So but to find it, we are going to use the bigger triangle. So permit me to clean this question. So let's use the bigger triangle. This is the bigger triangle. So here is 24.6 and the height here is 7. So they say we should find here our theta. So the two places they gave us is opposite over adjacent. So I'm going to use tan. So I'll say tan theta is equal to opposite 7 over adjacent, which is 24.6. So therefore I'm going to have that. So tan theta is equal to 7 divided by that. 7 divided by 24.66188. So I'm having 0.28443. So therefore my theta is now what? The tan inverse of that 0.2843. So what do you have? So you now have a tan inverse of that. Tan inverse of 0.2843. So I'm having 15.87 degrees. So that is that. Thank you very much for watching. God bless you. So the next class we'll talk about bearing and distance.